Every once in a while, I'll talk to somebody who gets on the phone with me or gets on Zoom with me and says, boy, I was really nervous about talking to you. And that's touching to me. And, of course, I view it as a compliment. Even though, I don't view myself as a celebrity or anything like that, I completely understand it. Here I am on your screen. You're seeing me regularly, and or hearing me regularly. And after some time, and after you get to know, you've heard me talking so much, and you get pretty familiar with me, to get on the phone with me, or to get on a Zoom call with me, could be intimidating. Now, that's not because there's anything super special about me. It's not because I deserve any sort of fanfare like that or anything like that. When I start to show off by saying I'm just a regular guy, I am just a regular guy. But I'm bringing it up because it's understandable. And I thought Jens might like to know that it has happened to me too. Even after my recognition here with the work I'm doing with the last symptom, one would think that I would get to a point where I'd say, all right, I'm receiving this, and I see that it doesn't reflect truly any greatness on my part or anything, And there might be even some aspect of it that involves people making me out to be grander than I am. You'd think that with that recognition, that then I would go out into the world and be immune to that sort of thing. But I'm not. And I wanted to tell you a story. There's a guy named Dave. He's he's kind of like a frontiersman skills instructor, kind of a wilderness survival instructor. He'd been on a couple TV survival shows. I had been following him for a while on Facebook back in the day. But what I wanted to tell you is I run into him one day. I was going to a Walmart. It was raining. And as I'm driving through the parking lot looking for a spot to park, lo and behold, I see Dave walking through the parking lot pushing a Walmart shopping cart. And it was so unexpected that I immediately got kind of nervous and excited. Like, oh my gosh, he's right there, and I'm about to pull right up next to him. So I lowered my window. I said, "Hey, Dave," as he's walking by, and he stopped and, yeah, I don't even remember exactly what I said, but I just started bubbling forth all kinds of nonsense, And I started talking to him, and he got a smile on his face. I could tell that he was touched, that I'd recognized him, that I was excited to meet him. But what I failed to take into account was that he's standing in the rain. I'm sitting in my Jeep, perfectly dry. And I mean, it's raining pretty hard. And I've stopped this guy to fawn over him and tell him how much I love his work and everything like that. And he was very gracious about that. He pushed his cart again. I think he was driving his wife's minivan, started unloading groceries or just whatever the normal stuff, that he was there to pick up at Walmart. And I thought about that. I mean, afterwards, I thought about that a lot. I thought, why did that happen to me? I know he's just a normal guy. I know he's as normal as you and me. He's just out there trying to make a living just like you and me. So why did that happen? Why did I get nervous and kind of starstruck when I saw him? Well, it's because it's human nature. There's nothing unhealthy or abnormal about it. It's completely natural when you admire a person's work and you've been following them for a long time. They may not even know you exist because they're only one person, and there's a lot of people following them or enjoying their content, appreciating their work. So when you meet that one person that you think, I could go my entire life, never accidentally bump into this person, it's an exciting thing. It's just an exciting thing, and that excitement is kind of natural. Now, I wanted to tell you more about that. Eventually, I ended up getting invited to his house, and I went to Dave's house. He owns some property, some wooded property, and I got to spend the night out there. So I packed like a shelter, pitched my shelter. There was about, I'm going to say 30 other people out there that had been invited, people who follow his work and stuff like that. Spending the night there, he was there, but I'll tell you, it ruined my kind of adoration of the man. Not that he did anything wrong, not that he was not very, very nice. For example, he fed us all. We had a big old pot of steaming chili-like soup over top of an outdoor fire. It was very hospitable to us all. But he sat back the whole time and just watched while the rest of us socialized thing. Now, he did do a couple things, like earlier in the evening, he got out, was trying to show this guy how to start a fire with friction, with a bow drill. So it looks like a bow, like a bow and arrow, but you wind that around a stick, and with friction you can start a fire. And so he was showing us all how to do that and trying to help this guy do it. So he was actively involved in those sorts of ways. But as far as just associating, just sitting around the fire and gabbing and talking and palavering and stuff like that, he didn't join us. He was up away from the fire, sitting by himself. And there was a couple guys that are close friends of his, and they were up there with him. But he didn't socialize with us. So it was kind of like, I got excited about going out there to his property and everything and getting to just sit around and just in a relaxed setting kind of talk to him and everything. And that didn't happen. He stayed separated from us. At one point I thought, well, this is kind of ridiculous. The whole reason I come out here is to get to spend time with him. So I had a little foldable chair. I took my foldable chair up to where he was sitting with his buddies. I sat down there and, hey, Dave, I appreciate you having me out here, and tried to talk to him and everything. And he just wasn't very conversational. Really, short answers to my questions, was not engaged, and was kind of distant, very distant. And I was telling you all this with the risk of this ever reaching his ears and him feeling like I'm bad-mouthing him or something. I'm not bad-mouthing him. I'm just describing my experience there. Like I said, he was very nice. But that was part of my experience there, was when I got to spend the night there. He was distant. And so eventually, because I wasn't getting any interaction, engagement with him, finally I picked up my seat and I went back down to where the rest of the folks were there, down around a campfire. I just got the impression the pleasure for him was seeing the people that he had invited enjoying themselves and enjoying the fire and being in the woods and that kind of fellowship and everything. But as far as wanting to get in and be in the middle of it, I didn't get the strong indication that was what brought him joy. What brought him joy was sitting back and seeing what he had provided for people and them enjoying themselves. Nothing wrong with that, right? So what I wanted to tell you is that if I ever host anything like that, even while I was there on his property, I was thinking, if I were to host something like this, last symptom related, that would not be my approach to it. I would be more personable than that. I don't want to seem standoffish. I'd want to be right in the middle of everybody and give everybody as much of my time and let people use that occasion to get to know me, and use that occasion for me to get to know them individually too. That's what I learned from that experience. And I'm sharing it with you so that you know that if you do get nervous, you get an opportunity to talk to me or meet me, and you get nervous, I perfectly understand that. I want to reassure you that I'm just a normal guy. But I appreciate it, and I don't think it's silly. I think it's completely normal. It still happens to me because I'm a person. Now, even when you hear these A-list stars, Tom Hanks meeting somebody and getting giddy or excited about the experience, because Tom Hanks is a person too.